Imagine waking up on Christmas morning, only to realize that half of your children have vanished without a trace. No footsteps in the snow, no bodies in the ashes, and no explanation strong enough to silence the questions that would haunt an American family for the rest of their lives. Today, we're diving into one of the most unsettling mysteries in U.S. history, often called America's Dyatlov Pass, because the deeper you look, the stranger everything becomes. This is the story of the 5 missing Sodder children of West Virginia, a case where a house fire ended a home, but not the mystery. On December 24, 1945, the Sodder family home in Fayetteville, West Virginia, was bustling with Christmas excitement. George and Jenny Sodder lived there with their 9 children. That night, the kids were thrilled because Christmas was hours away. They begged their mother to let them stay up a little longer, and Jenny agreed. She told them to remember to turn off the lights and lock the doors before going to bed. Simple instructions, the kind any parent would give. No one knew they would be the last words spoken to 5 of those children. Around 1 a.m., Jenny was awakened by the sound of something hitting the roof. Not footsteps, not wind, something solid, landing with a thud and then rolling. The noise bothered her, but the night was cold, and she went back to sleep. Just 30 minutes later, she woke up again, this time to the smell of smoke. The house was burning. Flames were already consuming the downstairs, blocking the staircase that led to the children's rooms. George and Jenny escaped with 4 of their kids, but 5 were still inside. The family tried everything, breaking windows, trying to reach the second floor, using water buckets, screaming their names into the smoke, anything, but nothing worked. Within an hour, the entire house collapsed into a pile of ash and embers the typical house fire leaves behind remains. Bones, objects, something. But when the charred wreckage cooled and investigators went through it, nothing appeared. No bodies, no bone fragments, not even teeth. The official explanation? The fire was hot enough to cremate 5 human bodies completely. But fire experts disagreed. House fires simply do not burn that hot. Even commercial cremation chambers require hours at extreme temperatures to reduce a body to ash. So if the Sodder children didn't burn, where did they go? Before we go deeper, if you enjoy unsolved mysteries that blend history with logic and finance-style reasoning, make sure you subscribe. Your support helps us bring you more investigations where we break down events, motives, incentives, and hidden patterns behind real-world stories. Back to the mystery. Over the next days, strange details began to surface. First, the telephone line to the Sodder house had been cut, not burned, before the fire. A neighbor later admitted seeing a man tampering with the Sodder's fuse box earlier in the week. Another person reported seeing a man stealing a block and tackle, a tool used to pull engines, from the Sodder property the night of the fire. And yet another witness said she saw a group of people watching the home as it burned, sitting calmly in a car on the side of the road. Even more bizarre, multiple sightings of the children began to appear. A woman who ran a tourist stop 40 miles away claimed she saw the 5 kids the morning after the fire, escorted by adults. Another witness said she saw them at a hotel in Charleston, West Virginia, with a group of Italian-speaking adults who refused to interact with locals. And yet another reported seeing photos of the children in a car with Florida license plates. Every sighting different, but all impossible to ignore. Now the motive. George Sodder, the father, was known for his outspoken political views. He had criticized the Italian dictator Mussolini publicly, even though many in their community at the time were Italian immigrants who still supported Italy. Days before the fire, a man approached George and warned him that his house would burn and his children would be destroyed because of his anti-Mussolini comments. A chilling statement, one that stuck with him forever. Investigators labeled the fire an accident. The Sodders refused to accept it. They built a billboard on Route 16 displaying the faces of their missing children with a $10,000 reward, a landmark that stayed there for decades. Their mission became an obsession, finding out whether their children died or were taken. Theories emerged. Some believed the children had been kidnapped by a trafficking ring and smuggled out of state. Others thought they were taken by people loyal to pro-Italian political groups. And a few believed someone from the community, offended by George's political opinions, carried out a terrifying act of revenge. The problem? No theory fits perfectly, and every theory leaves more questions than answers. In the 1960s, the Sodders received a mysterious photo in the mail. The picture showed a young man in his 20s who looked strikingly similar to one of the missing boys, Louis Sodder. On the back was a cryptic message with no return address. Even handwriting experts disagreed on whether it was authentic. But the family believed it was real, and that belief kept the mystery alive for the rest of their lives. Today, almost 80 years later, the case remains unresolved. No remains, no verified sightings, no confirmed suspects. Just a fire, a vanished group of siblings, and a trail of clues that feel like they were designed to confuse more than explain. Much like the Dyatlov Pass mystery, every answer only creates new questions. And maybe that's why this case still captivates America, because it forces us to ask whether we really know what happened that Christmas night, or whether the truth was buried long before anyone had a chance to find it. If you like deep dive mysteries told in a clean, professional narration style, make sure you follow our channel for more stories like this. And let me know which case you want next, because some mysteries are too strange to ignore and too important to forget.